Hey everybody, Mark Greenwald here with 12 Note Design, and I am here today to see if I can give a little lesson on some creative ways to play acoustic guitar to increase your songwriting prowess. Everybody's got different levels of guitar, so some of this may be rudimentary to you, some of it might be new, but hopefully you'll get something out of this. This is one of the first things that I learned once I learned chords was some of the ways to strum. So let's just start with, I'm going to say this is the top 12 things that you can use to make your songwriting better with acoustic guitar. So let's just start with number one being just the basic strum. So hopefully now you've got some chords that you've got in your back pocket. So we'll start with G. So to strum, just simply, you got your pick and you got the strings, and you just kind of go down and try to hit them either all at the same time or one at a time, but we're going to go mostly all of it at once. Okay? So that's kind of the basics of everything. So if you can imagine, you learn to switch your chords. Simple as that. Now the trick is to kind of learn where the strings are in relationship to how far out you are. Right now I'm strumming where my arm is pretty comfortable right here. And you see that I'm kind of strumming right about over the sound hole. And a lot of songs are very simple, and especially for your songwriting, you're just trying to get the chord progression down. So, but like, heard it from a friend who, heard it from a friend who, heard it from another, you've been messing around. So most of that, like I said, is just the going down the strings. Now number two way is to add to that some back and forth. Okay, so this is alternate strumming basically. So see how I'm now hitting it on the way up. And once again, I'm trying to mostly hit like all the strings kind of at once. Obviously the speed of it, you want a nice smooth flow to what you're playing. But when you're coming back up, okay, so, and then once again, it's just with the chords you're playing. So, once again, keeping it simple to get started here is basically this is just going down. And then practice that a little bit. And once you get comfortable with that, you're ready to move on to really what's number three, which is kind of just more of a rhythmic strum. And a lot of times you can really think of what you want, almost clap what you want. So once you get that feel of bow, 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 so that's one rhythm, but then there's so many different ways. You just kind of get the feel for what the song, what you're feeling and how you want it to feel. Once again, if you write a song, let's just say that it's C, F, and G. So you can go as from simple as just hitting it once, da 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 da, da 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 da. So that's just hitting it once, then strumming just single. Or now back and forth. now once you get to the level you got some comfort with that, now try to So, and then I'm going to go into number 3, which is really, we're going to tie all this together too, but muting the strings is something that is so much fun to do and gives so much more character to your playing. So this is where you take the palm of your hand and you mute the strings just like this. So instead of strumming now, I'm hitting the strings, but see how they're not, that's whenever they just ring out. But once you do this, you know, so that this gives you the ability now to incorporate that muting into what you're playing. So you can see how it gives it more feel, and you get some more rhythmic patterns going with that. And you know, so much of the heavy metal that I listened to back in the 80s was gives you that strumming pattern. So once again, it's not a strumming thing as much as it's giving yourself some rhythm. And then you can do some things that are just and now not only am I muting it down here, I'm actually holding the strings and muting them here. So that there's no, I'm not playing any chord. But you gotta get, so now you can see how you can build a song even with just 2 simple chords like that. All right, whatever we're up to, number 5. This is kind of strumming, but it's individual notes now. So I guess the one that comes to mind is Sweet Mountain Blue by Styx. So this is where I'm playing the chord, but instead of doing strumming like that, I'm doing. So there's so many songs you can do with that. Now once again, you got your basic chords to your song, but this just gives it a different feeling. So once again, your chords, whatever they are, even the bar chords. So that's, and there's so many different ways too. Obviously what I've done so far is just kind of strumming through them. So you got 6 there, but sometimes maybe like a D chord you got, and then you want to come back down, but sometimes you're alternating. So anyhow, that's number 5. Number 6 is to set down the pick for a moment, and now we're doing individual strings again, but now we're using our fingers to pluck the strings. So you see what I'm doing there? So and this is you know, even if you're just doing your thumb, but then you get the other fingers involved, and now you can hit 2 strings at once, which this is one advantage that you don't have with a pick as easily. There's some people that can do, I'm not one of them, but nevertheless you can hit a pick and still pluck with your fingers, but when it's all fingers you can kind of get in there and okay, so that is number 6. All right, number 7 is the hammer-on. So once again, most of the times you're hitting your chord and trying to strum after you've kind of made the chord known there. And once you get quick enough, you don't really even notice that the fingers are changing there. When you do a hammer-on, sometimes you get this opportunity to give it a 2 chords, but you're doing, so I'm going to do open up to the A. So I'm going to hammer on the A chords, but do it. See how I'm doing? So there's a lot of songs that take advantage of that. A lot of times this one. Messing it up there, but free ride. Anyhow, those are hammer-ons basically when you, and you might find once again another case of strumming, but you're using hammer-ons to do that. And then there's also just sliding to a note, like so instead of, that would be hammering on. So that's all number 7, hammer-ons and slide-ons. All right, number 8, harmonics. So harmonics are just a really interesting sound that a guitar makes when it kind of keeps ringing, because you kind of get that resonant frequency. So the one that's the most prominent is right at the octave. So right at your double dots here. If I touch the finger or touch my finger real lightly to the string and pick kind of hard, I get this this note that's just got a really nice full sound to it. Obviously the yes song. So what I'm doing is, see how I'm doing the just lightly hitting them and then let my fingers off. Let it do a thing. And then the next 2 that are the most prominent, once again, are at the 5th and 7th fret. So but you'll notice they go up the scale when you do. And if you've ever had the opportunity to tune your guitar this way, it turns out that the harmonic on the 5th and 7th of these 2 strings is the same note. So it's an easy way to tune your guitar. Doesn't work on that string, but then you can do it again up here at the B and. So those are harmonics. Now, the one thing that's kind of cool is if you don't want, like you didn't want that E harmonic, but you wanted F. You see there's just not one there. You can hold the 1st fret down here and take your 1st finger and use your thumb to hit a harmonic. So it's not real successful with those, but you get the gist of what I'm doing. So in other words, you can change where that where the octave is as you have different notes here. Let's see if I can get one to do. You can kind of see that's the G note. That's harmonics. Then some other ones are neat. You could take your thumb, fingernail, and actually as you hit with the pick, hear how I'm getting a little bit of a harmonic there? And sometimes that can be cool. It sounds a lot better on electric guitar, but you still kind of get some things there. You can hear those harmonics. And the harmonics throughout there, lots of fun things you can do with harmonics, but that's just a few things, a few elements you can add into your songwriting. All right, moving on. Number 9 is percussion. And I kind of go back to a song that I wrote one time that basically started with just percussion on the guitar. One of the beautiful things about a guitar is it's got different sounds where you hit it. So, I mean, I've got some nice kind of bass when you hit here, but maybe more of a snare, bass drum snare, and then you got some. This one I like is real high, so I had this one. So you can hear how many different sounds are on your guitar. So maybe you get into a song where you just got some, just throwing some chords out again, A, D, and E. So that's some percussion, but once again, you get into so have some fun with that. Percussion. All right. Bends. So most of the time on an acoustic guitar, you're basically just hitting the chords and not really doing much bend. And with soloing, you're doing bends. But keep in mind, you can do some nice bluesy stuff. So I'm gonna kind of come back into this. So keep in mind, you can add bends into your songs, even as passing notes. A lot of times it's really nice. Between E and A chords, quite often you do that G. I think of So see how much better it adds when you bend that. So, which is okay, but to add that bend just kind of adds that little. So that's one, and then just bending. And that's kind of almost getting into more of the solo feel and everything, but just keep in mind that bending is an option. On piano, you really don't have the ability to get to the strings, so you're kind of stuck with, straight on notes typically. But with guitar, you got an ability to bend the string up there too. All right, now we're up to number 11. Number 11 is a slide. So a slide looks something like this. Basically a tube. This one's brass. They have metal ones. They have glass ones. But what a slide allows you to do is slide to any note instead of it being, like digital only lets you go to the different frets. This is kind of almost more like a violin, lets you go to in between notes. So you basically can hit anywhere you want. So it just has, and there's a whole slide technique, but. There's another guitar that I bought that I think you get a kick out of. This is I say I bought it. This was gifted to me from my good friend Tom Nedgman. I haven't checked to see if this is in tune, but 3 strings. But the fun thing about this, you can just kind of. So anyhow, that's a lot of fun you can have with a cigar box slide guitar. And that's slide for you. Okay, we're about ready to wrap up our journey through the top 12. And the top 12 is basically just getting some different, once you learn some of your chords, you can now get different sounding songs by playing. So let's just say that you just learned G, C, and D, and you love the way these sound. And it'd be sure nice to play it up here, maybe for your voice, but it just doesn't work, right? Well, a capo is what allows you to get a different sound. So I'm going to be playing the same chords, but now I'm going to take it way up here to this fret. So now when I play it, you'll hear. So see how you got almost a totally different song now. It almost sounds maybe like mandolin. For your voice, that you might find the right key right down here might be. It's just such a different sound. So maybe some chords that you like to play. It just gives it a whole different feel at a different key. And then along with that, I just wanted to throw in too that there's alternate tunings that you can do for guitar. So the one that I use quite often is just what's called a drop D, just dropping the D. And this just allows you to, like, the D string, typically when you're playing a D chord, you don't get that, you just don't play the E string, but whenever you drop the D, you get that nice, full, rich. So that's one thing. But you can tune all the strings to be different notes. There's a open D tuning. Let's see. I think. Your B, we go to A. Let's see, D, my G string needs to go to what's probably F sharp. Okay, so the beauty of this one now is that, sorry it took me a minute to get there, but is you can play without playing any chords. And then just bar across to get. That's the way you can take some bar chords and just make them just do straight bar chord across wherever you want to play that chord. All right, there's my 12 top ways to play the acoustic guitar. I hope you got a kick out of this. Maybe learn some new techniques that you can try out. Maybe you can do them a whole lot better than me. I'd love you to drop the comments if you think of anything that I missed or should have included in this. But this has been 12 Note Design, and I hope to bring you more videos like this. Please hit like and subscribe and all those good things to help me with the channel. And we'll hope to see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed this. Take care. Mark Greenwald signing out. See ya.